morning everyone, I hope you're all okay today. Today's reading is going to be why are they drawn to you? So we're going to have a little look at what they find attractive about you, but it's more from a point of view is what is so attractive about you anyway, regardless of what somebody else thinks about you. Why are you so fantastic? So we've got 3 piles today, pile 1, pile 2 and pile 3. If you want to take your choice and we'll get going. Right then, let's go straight into this, which basically means let me start talking before I've started thinking. I think that they're drawn to you for 2 reasons, mainly to begin with. I think that you have that, or you give them that impression of being an ideal partner. This could very much be a same-sex relationship or a connection with somebody, especially if it's 2 females. Because the Juno card to me gives the impression of 2 females, because it's a very sort of feminine. It reminds me of the priestesses in perhaps Greece, where they were all kept together and there was some sort of spiritual or religious bond. And I know that it was meant to be that they were there to heal the soldiers. So basically when the soldiers had been to war, they came back and they made their life a little bit more feminine. A little bit more, in the wider sense, a little bit more reflective, a little bit softer, so that the harsh realities of war were sort of like seeped away in some way. So let me have a think. Why are they drawn to you? Okay, they're drawn to you, I feel, because there's an element of danger in the relationship. I don't know whether you're a mother or whether that's just that you're that type of woman or man who has that sort of feeling of being very at home in their body, very beautiful, very luxurious, and perhaps you have some sort of creative career or something about you which makes things beautiful. But there's this element of danger and an element of excitement that goes with you. But I think that's almost slightly pushed aside because you also have some sort of bond where you communicate really well. When you're together, I think that the communication flows. And when you text or if you connect on emails or any way that you communicate, it either makes you laugh or it's very heartfelt or it's just something that just clicks between the pair of you. There's definitely an element of excitement. This person feels genuinely towards you and it's an emotional pull. You communicate well and his feelings or her feelings are very genuine, but there's an element of defensiveness, which I think has got something to do with this caution card here. And the fact that Jupiter and Aries, these 2 cards are quite feisty. They're very headstrong and they very much search for the fun and the excitement in life. And you've got this next to the caution card here. So there's some element, I think, where it's almost as if the fun can almost carry you both away and you have to put a line to stop it for some reason. I don't know whether there's children involved or one of you's a mother or relationships are involved. I don't know, to be honest. But there's definitely an element of stop and put the brakes on occasionally because the pull might be too strong. This person has genuine feelings towards you that are heartfelt and sincere. And if this person hasn't approached you yet, the feelings of wanting to approach you are definitely there. It's almost like a dreaming card. It's somebody who thinks about you when you're not there and thinks about romantic gestures rather than just rampant sex. But there's also a really good element of communication. But there's something defensive. This is the most fantastic relationship I've ever had. I can feel the bond, we communicate well, put the brakes on because it's wrong. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong between the pair of you. There's just something that's very stop-start about it. I don't know what wrong actually means. It could be the fact you can't actually get together very well. It could be you maybe work situation. It could be something to do with children. But there's defensiveness and there's caution here. It wouldn't surprise me with a Juno card as well, which has probably a couple of reasons, whether this person with the Empress and the Juno card sees you as an ideal long-term partner. I don't know what this defensive card bit is here, so I'm going to go a bit further and dig a bit deeper to see why there is caution and the 9 of Wands here, because the mental communication's there, the pull's there for a long-term relationship, but there's caution here, but the emotions are there too. So this is a mixed pile at the moment. Let me see. I'll keep going a little bit further and see what comes out, and see, if not I can go back and put some more cards on. Okay. Right, physically, this person sees you as somebody who is larger than life. I don't know if it's the way, I don't mean like you are huge, I just mean the fact that they see you as somebody who is exuberant and full of life, and almost like luck is pulled towards them. You're somebody who I think is quite a go-getter. I think you might be quite fiery. You're definitely quite fun. The type of person I wonder whether they see as somebody who makes plans way in the future and knocks off those lists and gets exactly where they want to be. But I also wonder at the moment, see, that's the major arcana, so I think they do actually see you as somebody who is very good. Jupiter to me is the planner. It's the person who makes plans and gets there through sheer luck, because Jupiter is luck, but it's almost a feisty attitude of have a go anyway, and they end up getting there. You think, oh my God, how did you do that? So you give off physically that appearance of having the world in your hands and getting what you want to this person. But there's also an element, I think here, I don't know if this has got anything to do with this caution card, of you not being your usual self, I would say. Of being slightly cut off in the relationship, possibly, or in life in general, of almost in between decisions of going somewhere, perhaps in work, or just generally a little bit more hidden than you are usually, a little bit more introverted than usually, because you're coming across as quite exuberant. And I think this person is very much drawn to the fact that you have that energy about you which just lives life to the full. This person is really attracted to you in some way that has got something to do with a long-term feel or a homely long-term partner feel, but there's something. I wonder whether you can't get close to this person. This isn't answering the question. I'm going to get sidetracked again, so I'm going to stop, because you're coming across to them as being larger than life and really attractive. But then you've got the Four of Cups and the Four of Swords. Can you see these? Which is a woman who looks as if she can't actually do anything, so she's basically gone back to her bedroom and sat there and thinking. This person has feelings for you, and then this card here, these two cards here are caution but excitement. So it's almost as if you have somebody in your life who you get on really well with, and there's a magnetism there. You could be a mother, but there's a defensiveness there, as if you're not meant to be together. This person views you as being the ideal partner, but you've almost pulled yourself back and just watching and waiting. Right, I think on the whole that you two know that you both communicate quite well, but I don't think, I'm getting the feeling as this spread's going on, that there is some reason why you are probably not communicating so well at the moment. There's some anxiety there, there's some decision, and there's some pulling back to do with communication. If you are a woman asking for a man, or if you're a man asking for a man, I think the other person wants to offer you some sort of emotional start or emotional beginning, or just to let you know what they feel, which is emotional. It's like as I said before, like a heartfelt feeling of pure emotions. But then this card here is as if they've almost sat back. You are both here almost sat back and not going anywhere. So this could be man or woman, to be honest, but they're at home and they are sat there and they're thinking, but they're almost thinking in practical sense, and you're sat there looking as if you've only got a a nugget of what you actually really do want. And that's causing possibly anxiety, or definitely a feeling of having to pull back more than you want to and having to weigh up what's going on. So I think the attraction there, so why are they drawn to you? They are drawn to you because you seem the type of person or partner that's not only very good at being very maternal or paternal, but also very good at taking charge of their life and making it go where they want it to go. And I wonder whether your person has some fire in them. It strikes me as somebody who has like an Aries moon type of feel about it. There's emotions here. This person's coming across to you as quite watery. So they're coming across, the way that you see them, as very sort of dreamlike and romantic. But I wonder whether your person is quite fiery, and the bit that they find attractive in you is your feistiness, your ability to get what you want out of life. But at the moment, I think it's almost, I get the feeling with caution here that you've been knocking your head against a brick wall and you've almost pulled back a bit. And you're almost basically thinking, I can't carry on anymore, I'm just going to pull back. This person doesn't really know what else to do. They're sat there and they're thinking about you, but they're not actually doing anything practical. They're not actually reaching out practically. I get the impression this is more of a practical type of feel about this person, as in they can see with these caution cards what they need to do to get to you, but it may not be possible at the moment. And you've pulled back. They're drawn to you because you have a big perspective on the way that you want to live your life, and they can almost smell that. I think you're very independent, and I think you're very sort of reserved in a way that you know what you want and you're not going to give too much. So I think to this person, you come across as being a very strong character, very practical, but very much you've got a lot of self-esteem, self-respect. So in a situation that you may think may not be, with this caution card here, may not be in your best interest, you have the self-respect to pull yourself out and watch and wait until you think it's the correct thing to do morally for you. You're not going to push yourself, which I think this person finds really admirable, into a situation which you think is morally substandard to you and to them probably. I think you're one of those people who are quite humble and reserved in some way, even though you've come across with the Jupiter card here. I think you're somebody who has very good instincts on what to do, and you actually are very good at pulling yourself out and thinking correctly before, rather than just throwing yourself into a relationship which you know could possibly not be the correct thing for you or them. You're coming across to them as somebody highly independent, somebody who's highly in charge of themselves, and who's quite there's a sort of empowerment feeling about you here. You're prepared to carry on with the relationship. You're prepared to keep the give and take going, but you've almost, as if I feel that you've cut off slightly until the relationship can run smoothly and you can get out of it what you need, rather than just giving to them what they need. Their feelings are genuine towards you, but with pulling out the caution card and these really exuberant cards to begin with made me think of a strong attraction that can't actually be played out for some reason. This person sees you as the ideal partner, you communicate well, but there's defensiveness there, and there's you almost pulling back with a real sense of empowerment of only doing what you want to do when it feels correct for you. Even though this person is probably extremely attractive, really attracted to you because you come across as a really strong character, that you're saying, yeah, I know what we've got, I know what the situation is, but I'm not going to move until it feels right. Okay, right. I think that you two are very similar. I think the attraction between the pair of you, I do think your person's probably very romantic, but I think, as I said earlier, with that Aries moon comment, you don't have to have Aries moon. There is something inside both of you that you see in each other. I think that's that feeling of grabbing life by the horns, and it makes me think of Wuthering Heights when Heathcliff and Cathy are quite the characters. Please don't take this personally, because I don't mean it personally at all. I'm just trying to express the characters are quite revolting in their own little ways, because they're not perfect characters, and that's the pull of the whole book. But they are just two people who are very much attracted to each other and quite wild, and that's the feeling, not the revolting bit, that I get from this pile. There's a wildness inside the pair of you that you both recognize. There's that sort of, it's like a entrepreneur business feel about it, where you could possibly start a business together. There's like that fun, taking life by the horns and having fun with it feel. It's feisty, it's naughty, and it's forward moving with both of you here, and I think that's what really gets you. It's got a real sort of feisty feel about this part. You don't have to be fire signs. It's just got that, I'm old enough to know that I don't have to give a crap about what other people think about me anymore. And you've both got to that stage. I don't know how old you are. It could be something that you've had, it's part of your personality if you're very young and always been there. But it makes me think of two people who have been through their bits in life where things have been hard, and they thought, I don't care anymore. I really don't care anymore. But there's still that respect feel coming from you, which if this rings true in any way, where you've almost said, or you feel it, I think they feel the attraction towards you, because you are that creative, I don't know, it's just, you've got quite a lot of sex appeal. There's a feeling about you of being larger than life, of being straight, direct, honest, having high self-esteem in a very sort of self-contained way, and good morals. And I think this person sees you as quite formidable, but not, look at these two cards here, but he's not scared of it, or she's not scared of it, because I think you're both very similar. There's a strength behind you, and he sees, or she sees, the strength in you. It's a really nice feel. I get the feeling that your person, I'm going to sneeze, excuse me, gets a lot of attention from the way that they are the way they walk, and the way that they handle themselves, and the way that they're quite direct. And I think you've come into their life, and I think you're very similar. And I think it's almost it makes me think of somebody who is sat watching you with a smile on their face, as if they can't actually take in the fact they've met somebody like themselves. I think you both walk with a little bit of a swagger, a little bit of a skip, that you can almost see the energy inside you. It's like a fun, devil-may-care, bollocks to you all feeling about it, which is quite nice. Right, okay. Okay, right, and for the last bit here, I'm going back to this Juno card here, and this sort of pull about a relationship. But I think that you have some sort of healing quality on this person, or presence on this person, because the Juno card here, as I said right at the very beginning, has a partnership pull, as in you can seem like the ideal person to this, as a partner to this person. But there's also, as I said earlier, about the soldiers that came back from the wars in Greece, and the women were like priestesses who put the feminine back inside them. So this person sees you as the Nine of Cups. It's almost like a wish come true, and it's an emotional feel. So I do think you have a feminine healing quality about you. See, that mixed with this Queen of Wands makes me think of somebody who has quite a strong sexual pull on a lot of people, because you've got that quality of being feisty and sexual, but there's also mixed with that feminine, even if you're male, there's that gentleness about you. And I don't know if this person knows how to take you, which must be one of the main reasons that draws him or her towards you, because the mixture is quite potent together. And you have this sort of healing quality on this person. You're almost like a wish come true. Emotionally, they probably can't quite get enough of you because you make them feel good. Nine of Cups is a feeling of almost unbelievably thinking, who is this person in front of me? It's like somebody they fantasize about, but I do think you have a really strong healing quality about you, which gives them some feeling of balance. Oh my gosh, this is really nice. So why is this person drawn towards you? There's an element of danger about you, that they feel that they can't actually progress to you as quickly and as easy as they'd like to. But I wonder whether, as these cards have progressed, whether that's one of the reasons they're drawn to you, because you're exciting. The communication between the pair of you, I think, is easy and strong, and there's a real strong feeling of being the ideal partner and a really strong healing quality about you. There's an element, you could be a mother, there's an element of defensiveness about the situation as a whole, but I think their emotions are genuine and heartfelt, and there's a romantic quality about them too. They're a mixture of feisty, romantic, but also practical and trying to weigh the situation up. But I think you've almost beat them with weighing the situation up, because I think out of your own self-respect, if this relationship isn't something that you can dive into for some reason, you've pulled yourself back. And I think this person finds it admirable that you have the self-respect not to put yourself on the line if the situation isn't really something you can move forward with at the moment, because these cards under here are somebody who's almost retracted a little bit from the relationship. But to the main thing about this relationship is the sexual pull, the feistiness, and the genuine feelings of basically wanting to hump each other. No, I'm not going to say that. The genuine feel. Oh my God, I just did. The genuine feelings of. Oh my God. This reminds me very much of a story from when I was in college, when I was probably about, I don't know, 18. Yeah, 18. And I used to have a boyfriend who was a friend, it was just a boy. And he walked into his mother's party, and he must have said he was about 4. And he was always talking, he was obsessed with sex. And he just walked into the party and went, sex, sex, sex. So whenever we saw him, we used to go, sex, sex, sex. But that is what I'm feeling. There's a real strong sexual attraction here. And that is one of the main poles of this relationship: healing, sexuality, communication, and that feeling of being the ideal partner. Anyway, sex, sex, sex. I'm going to leave that there. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a lovely day. If any of that rings true, please comment in the comments section, because it helps me read the cards a bit better. Thank you very much. Bye.
La música de Harry Fraud.
Wow, pile number 2. You've picked you picked a good pile. Pile number 1 was good. This one's probably even better, to be honest. Right, why are they drawn to you? Because they are drawn to you because you have that air of wildness and attractiveness, and they have almost fallen head over heels for you. The 7th house is the house of long-term relationships. Vesta is that feeling of being in a pattern of life that they recognize. They may have had quite a few relationships before, I don't know, but it's almost with the Ace of Cups and the Sun in Sagittarius here, as if they've recognized you with these cards here as being the one. It's like a long-term relationship draw between this pile here. I think that they think that you're quite mysterious. There's attraction is there. The Page of Cups here. The attraction is what's the word? Genuinely heartfelt and heartwarming and open. So they have this sort of like dreamlike thoughts and feelings about you, and they see you as quite mysterious. So you're drawn to you because I don't think they can quite put their finger on why they're drawn to you, but they can just have these, they just seem to have these feelings which are huge. You have got the Lovers card here, and I think the Lovers card in this pack is quite sexual. It's what the Lovers in the Rider-Waite is just something where there's just that intense attraction. This is quite sexual attraction, but you have that married with Page of Cups, so it's a more of an emotional and a really strong sexual pull, because this is major arcana and the Page of Cups is a diddy pull, if you know what I mean, but it's emotional, and this person has like romantic feelings towards you, but I think they find you quite mysterious. This pile makes me think of somebody or someone who can't actually control their feelings for you because they weren't really expecting to meet somebody they were so attracted to. Sagittarius is not the type of person or horse to hold back when they find somebody attractive. Sagittarius are ruled by their groin. They are basically pulled to people or pulled to situations because of the sexual pull. But both down here and here, you've got sexual and romantic. The Ace of Cups is like a flourish, emotional feeling that, you know, you just feel as if you've got everything that you want. Ace of Cups, I've said in previous powers, is that purring cat. You've got something and it feels right and you can't stop purring to yourself. It makes your heart, because the purring is around the chest area, it just makes your heart fizz, because there's that sort of fizz, wrong word, because that's that sort of pull that just feels right and feels comfortable and feels loving. You can feel that in your heart, can't you? When you're attracted to somebody, you can almost, you know, especially when you see kids as well, or things that you really love, you actually feel it in your heart. Or when somebody compliments you, you feel it in your heart. But this person sees you as the ideal relationship, that's it, I was going to say. But they also see you as quite mysterious, so I don't know yet whether all this enthusiasm is just coming solely from them or whether you feel the same. So this person is drawn to you for really quite strong reasons. Ideal partner, opening of their emotions, and just enthusiasm, excitement and sexual. So basically you've got it all in the first row. But you're coming across, the way that they perceive you is the High Priestess, so quite mysterious at the moment. Let's see. Right, your person, you may work with this person, I don't know, or just been in a situation where you've helped each other, or in some ways that there is that imbalance between imbalance in the situation, because the Six of Pentacles here is a practical card. So this is something mundane, and it can often speak of an imbalance in a situation, or one person serving the other. So it could be a work situation, it could just be somebody who sells you sweets at the corner shop. It's just that giving and taking in a practical situation. Somebody that helps you in work. It could be quite a few things, but I think that your person is coming across as somebody who's trying to be quite self-contained about that. They're almost as if they're putting a face on to look as if they're more in charge of these sexual feelings, these emotional feelings that they have towards you. There's a bit of a play-off here. This person's trying to look really practical, and you're almost doing, I think you're doing a lot of running. Sorry, camera clicks off after half an hour. You can't hide these feelings because you've got major arcana here as well. This must be actually painful for both of you. And I don't really understand if there is a reason. I can't see any blocks in communication, really. I can't see any at all. Let's do that. So why aren't you two expressing your attraction to each other, which is absolutely huge? Because the Sun in Sagittarius is one thing they can't do is hide it. Okay, right, I think you are probably either in a situation which is quite conventional. I don't know whether it's marriage or a work situation, or it could be a race situation, a religion situation. There could be something to do with the fact that there's something quite orthodox that you can't actually express these huge feelings. there's lots of different reasons here. Four of Swords, it could be one of you is actually, you can't get close to each other basically because of, I'm going to say COVID, what's the word? Lockdown. I don't know where you are and what situation you're in your country, but we are basically in lockdown again. You're just separated in some way. One of you could be a mother. One of you could be married. One of you could have a wife that's pregnant. And there's lots of different feelings. Here's your cards for communication. Four of Swords, lying low, not doing anything, separation. The Empress is basically the mother card, and then you've got the Hierophant with the Empress. Makes me think of even more so a mother or a relationship or some situation that's orthodox, or some situation which is quite businesslike, quite conventional, that you can't express your feelings. So these feelings are huge, but you two are probably having, I don't know what those things that horses have between their teeth to stop them biting, but they're called I don't know what they're called, but with this Sagittarius card makes me think that you two actually need to have those in your mouths when you're close to each other, because I think that you find the pull really difficult to hide. Right, let me keep going to get a little bit more of a there's lots of thinking, lots of trying, lots of inward effort to get this relationship moving, but you've got the Tower card here as well. So either something has happened in the past, or if you did get it moving, it's just something that would explode. It makes me feel, because you don't get this passion, you don't get these emotional feelings unless you're together, and unless, what I'm trying to say is you can't be feeling this without it being painful. I mean, you've got the Tower card here, so I'm beginning to think that you can't get together for some other reason that, I don't know what. The Tower card here, you get together, okay, trying to manifest, trying to make this relationship happen. Lots of thinking, lots of waiting, and there's this conventional feeling behind it, but you've got this with the Tower, so it makes me think that if you did actually jump into this relationship, it could explode for some reason. And I don't know why. The only clue I've got to why is Four of Swords distance, the Empress, which could be children, mother, the Hierophant, tradition, dogma. Something in society that's stipulated is not really correct for you two to be together. It may not be the way you think, but that's the way the world has developed. And then you've got the Empress here, which could be the fact that you're a mother. And then it's just not happening. Something's just not happening. There's lots of lying low, but the feelings are there. And it's almost as if you both think all the time about how to get together, but it's almost with the Tower card here, I don't understand it, to be honest. It's almost as if you got together, it would just explode. You know that it would be a real big issue for you two to get together. I think for you two to get together, you may have to lose something. And it's something that you may have to work at steadily. Because I think if you did it now, I don't know, this won't apply to everybody. I think if you made the jump into this situation with this person, whether it would be too much, it's just something you've got to keep nipping. If you want to keep this relationship going, it makes me think with the Seven of Pentacles here, it's just something you've got to keep nipping at rather than throwing yourself into. Because I think, I don't know, the timing might be wrong. I don't know, to be honest. I do feel, see, there could be children involved, there could be somebody else involved with this pile. I do think that this person sees you as being very mysterious. They can feel the attraction, but I wonder whether you're being as hard-nosed as they are in almost keeping apart, because I wonder whether there's something in this that is difficult to get off the ground. strange thing to say, but I'm going to say it anyway. I wonder whether you feel a sort of past life bond with this person because they are so drawn to you sexually, so drawn to you emotionally, but there's an air of mysteriousness and an air of not being close together or not being able to get close together. And this Vesta pile here has this healing sort of quality about it. And the attraction is huge, but I wonder whether, I'm just going to say this, whether... No, I don't know. I will say anyway, whether in some way that you feel that you've been connected in the past or past lives and actually had children together. There's like that healing, I don't know. It makes me think of somebody in a past life who has had a long-term relationship. And then you see each other in this life, and that recognition is huge of knowing each other, and the pull is huge, and there's like you're like excited puppies who just really get on well. But then again, there's a block here, and it almost makes me feel with the magician as if you're both going at home and trying to get this relationship back because it feels good. It's like a south node connection that can't actually get off the ground, and there's lots of thinking, lots of waiting, and lots of hoping, and the pull is huge, but there's almost a feeling of recognition with the 7th house here and the pages and the 5 of... There's a recognition of a connection that's very strong, but I don't know if you two are together, which isn't answering your question, and I'll have to sum that up at the end. Right, let me just go the last pile here and I'll try and sum it up for you. Yeah, I think that you two feel a huge connection, and I think the connection goes deeper than a mundane connection. I think that this connection actually feels like it's something that's run through lifetimes with you two, because your cards are huge. You've got Ace of Cups. It's an emotional feeling of knowing the person and feeling genuine love. The Ace of Wands is a really strong pull, which I think is exciting and sexual. And with the Devil card here, I just think it is highly sexual. But there's you pulling out and looking mysterious. There's them trying to be self-controlled. And there's a feelings of basically keeping yourself to yourself and only having to make small steps to get to each other because of fear of the relationship blowing up in the air. This person is trying to be really cool to you, but they are drawn to you because I think that you come across as their ideal man or their ideal partner, but it's almost as if the wrong timing, wrong place feel, again, very similar to pile 1. And the way that you're going to keep this relationship nurtured is only like tidbits to each other. If there's such a word as tidbit, I think it's tidbit. I also wonder as well, this person's drawn to you because I think they quite enjoy the sexual pull, and it's almost like the anticipation of it getting there but never quite getting there. It's got a large feel about it of tension and excitement, and that's it, tension and excitement. But I think this, and I honestly feel this is like a relationship with the Judgment card down here and the Emperor and the Hermit. They're quite spiritual cards, and it's almost as if this goes through lifetimes and it's always been the same. You've always been connected, but I wonder whether you're supposed to recognise this connection in some way and feel the desire, and it wakes you up and makes you feel good, but I don't know whether you're meant to be together. I can't tell in this lifetime. I can't tell. You probably need an astrology chart reading for that. There's a lot going on inside you both, mentally and spiritually inside you both with this pile. There's a lot of control and there's a lot of sexual pull that I don't think you're able to get off the ground. If you are, I wouldn't like to be there at the same time or in the same house. Right, I'm going to finish there, pile number 2, because I think I've talked enough. So the person is drawn to you because of a spiritual pull, the way that you handle yourself, in the strength of these feelings. They're just drawn to you. Sexual pull, emotional attraction and spiritual bond. And I know that sounds really simplified, but I think I've given enough sort of reason as I've gone. So the attraction is huge. Really strong. Right, lovely, a lovely pile. Pile number 1 was good too. Quite similar, to be honest. Good luck with that. And thank you for watching. Bye.
La música de Harry Fraud.
Right then, pile number 3. Okay, 3. That was really shouty. This person is drawn to you because there is a strong sexual pull. It's one of those pulls, one of those feelings that reverberates deep inside you, and it's mixed in with an emotional feeling too. This person fantasizes about you. This person has extremely strong emotional feelings to you, but I don't think that you are actually together. The 5 of Cups makes me think that you aren't actually with this person. The 10 of Swords makes me think that too, but I do think the feelings are sexual and emotional from the very beginning. I think this person, whether the male or female's feelings towards you, are quite mature in the fact that I think they can control themselves, but the sexual pull is there, and the sexual pull is something that's as equal as the emotional pull, to be honest. This person's quite a dreamer. This person probably fantasizes about you quite a lot, but this person, I don't get the feeling, is with you at the moment. Okay, I get the feeling this is more about you, this line here, because I get the feeling that you are separate at the moment. I get the feeling there's almost a feeling of recognizing yourself in this person but not being able to get to them, and vice versa. I think, to be honest, I think this may have been going on quite a while, and you may have the feeling that you're almost ready to turn your back on this person. I don't know, actually. I think what you would like to do is do something big and move towards this person, or you recognise this person as being a big part of your life and being quite important in your life, but there's some anxiety, I reckon, about getting close to them. I think this person has probably flirted with you quite a lot. I think this person, when they're doing it, is quite open and loving and has that kind of look in their eyes and that twinkle in their eyes. And I don't know what has gone in between you two, but I do think this is the type of person when he's standing next to you, she's standing next to you, you can almost feel a magnetic sexual pull, but there's also that sweetness with it. And this person is attracted to you and drawn towards you because they feel that. They feel there's a sweet air about you, and they feel an emotional connection. They think that you can probably match them on their genuine feelings of affection towards you. But I can't hide the fact that there's a strong sexual pull from this person towards you. They find you very sexually attractive in a... I'm trying to choose my words here. In a mysterious, darker way, I'm going to say. Scorpio is quite dark, it's intense, but it doesn't want fluffy love, it doesn't want roses, it wants sex, just straightforward, honest. Yeah, it might not be straightforward actually with Scorpio. They want honesty, they want openness, and they want the nitty gritty. They want the grime in the relationship. They don't want roses, they don't want a mask, they want you, and they want you to be honest with them. And they're drawn towards you possibly because they feel that's what they're going to get from you. You know, when people are drawn towards each other, they have like hooks. So if this person is looking towards you and thinks that they're going to get raw, straightforward, honest sex, they must feel that from you, and that's basically how you hook into relationships, because they think they're going to get something, they think you can give it. But I'm not saying it's negative. You might think that's really positive, but I'm saying that is mixed with strong feelings of love. But I feel that you're getting fed up with this situation, as if you want something big to happen. You want it to jump into the situation. You want a new start. You want to start a new episode in your life. But there's also anxiety and no movement going on here. And I don't know why. Your communication is really good. Your communication is passionate. Yeah, I do think there's a lot of flirting going on with you two. It's the feel of two people who can't help themselves when they're together, of almost, you could possibly make other people feel uncomfortable. You've got a couple of fiery cards. Oh no, actually maybe not. You've got the Knight of Wands here, which is fiery, but Scorpio is very sort of subtle. And you've got a couple of Cups cards here, so I'm going to retract that. I was about to say you possibly could make people feel uncomfortable with your attraction, but with this Scorpio card and these watery cards, you may probably hide it and just you two feel it. It's like when you're in a room with somebody and you can, it's almost as if there's a pull of the tide towards the pair of you. Your communication, I think, is quite soft and gentle. The way that you speak to each other is respectful, and that this person's attracted to the way that you communicate. I think they think that you're quite, if you're female, oh gosh, I'm going to get mixed up with terms here. They think that you're feminine in the way, male or female, the way you express yourself in sort of astrological masculine, feminine ways, and the fact you're soft-spoken and you're quite sexual, but almost in a gentle way. But the Knight of Wands here, you mix that, I think, and what they do find attractive is because you mix it with a feeling of moving forward and excitement. So it's a real strong combination here of being feminine and masculine. The masculine qualities are the forward movement and the sexuality and the adventurous sort of feel about you, as if you're sort of not on hollow ground. What's the term? When you're sort of on the precipice of doing something really exciting, but I think you come across as very kind and gentle and feminine and quite mysterious to them. I think the communication is possibly, if it's flirty, it's innuendos in some way that could be taken either way. So I think you say something and you know exactly what you're saying, or you imply something even if it's just a look, and you know exactly what you're doing, and this person's all afluster because they can sense it, but they can't do anything about it because it could be taken either way and they don't want to look stupid, which is quite naughty. Well done. Emotionally. Your person tries to hide their pull towards you, I think. I think that they feel strongly, it's like an animal pull towards you. I think that you, male or female, come across as quite feminine and sexual at the same time. And I think that they are drawn to you because of this, but it also drives them a little bit bonkers because they feel that they have to hide this. And I also feel that they struggle with this a lot. You ignite something inside that gets their brain clicking and wanting something more, but it's almost as if you're like a bit of a temptress pile here. I think you know exactly what you're doing. I think that you go into this situation and I think you're quite sexually in charge of yourself, and I think you have that quality of delivering your speech and delivering your presence in some way that has a sort of gentle demeanour about it, but is strongly sexual, but only towards the person you intend to pick it up. This is a real naughty pile. And I think you've got this person almost flustered in the way that they're attracted to you. Fantastic. Okay. I think if there is some sort of spiritual bond in past life, it was a really strong, I'm going to say it again, and as I was saying in pile number 1, I had a friend in college when I was about 18, 19, a really sweet guy, and he used to make me laugh because he used to tell me a story of when he had lots of stupid stories, of when he was young and he walked into his parents' party, and I think he was like, I don't know, 4 or something, or 3, and he went, sex, and the whole party just stopped. And so we used to laugh with him, and just when we saw him get sex, 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 this has this feeling, if there is a strong bond between you, I think that has run through lifetimes and is very strongly sexual. It's almost as if you see each other and the passion is there and the feelings are there, then you have to retract from the situation. And it wouldn't surprise me whether the texting is sexual or whether the emails are sexual, whether the phone calls are sexual. There's a lot of sex, 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 as my friend would say in this. This person is trying to downplay these feelings because I think they feel flustered and overwhelmed. And it's almost as if it gives me the feeling of 2 people who have had a sexual encounter, whether actually physical sexual encounter or just all this like texting, sexting, whatever it is. I'm too old to do this. And then you almost see them the next day and they're almost like straight, as in, as if totally forgotten about it, but they haven't forgotten about it. They try to downplay what's going on between you. And I think this has been going on lifetimes. It gives the feeling of something that has been a strong pull through lifetimes. And I think that you communicate really well, but I think it's got that sort of passionate edge. And with this Scorpio feel, it's really intense, passionate. That ain't right. What's the word? Intensely passionate? No, I don't know. Oh God, my last pile is supposed to be physical and sexuality, but surely I've used up all the cards on that. And this whole pile is very physical and very passionate. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, okay, right, just to finish you off on a negative note, I'm wondering whether there are either a lot of people around you when you are together, and this is the intensity in the communication and the relationship, and almost like a hidden feeling where your sexual pull has to be batted down, and it's almost causing some sort of anxiety. But I'm also wondering, there's a possibility that if you got together, as in pile 2, this could be an explosive relationship. If there's no barriers in the relationship, fantastic. But it will be one of those relationships that you will always look at, even if you're still with them in 50 years or not, as being really intense. It's almost like a sexual awakening, especially if you're young, and I don't know what age you are, and I'm being careful here. This person could be your first sexual encounter. But there's 3, there could be the intense feeling of not being able to show these feelings because there's always people around you. But with a Tower card here, there's also a possibility that there's more than 2 people in this relationship, and that's why it's so intense, because you can't actually consummate it without the Tower card coming into your life. If it's not that, if there aren't more than 2 people in a relationship, it's just it will be a relationship that you will always remember, whether you're with them or not, through being some sort of sexual awakening. I once had another friend in college. I've had 2 friends. This was later on, probably in my 20s. And I could never understand this, but she had a boyfriend who she'd known since quite young, who she ended up being her husband, but she finished with him because she said the sexual pull was too strong. And I was like, what do you mean? But they eventually got back together again, and she's still with him now. But he was Scorpio. No, he was Libra with lots of Scorpio, which is quite a sexual pile, a sexual combination, really, actually. Anyway, I'm going to finish there. Pile number 3. Why are they drawn to you? I'm not going to say the word again. They are drawn to you because there is a strong, strong physical attraction. This person, I get the feeling, feels that he's in control or she's in control of it, because I think they come across as quite sexually experienced in some way, or think that they are sexually experienced. They think that they're in control of it, and they're trying to basically push it down into their pants to pretend that that you can't see what's going on inside them, but you've got this person all shook up. That's a really bad song. I think why they're drawn to you is basically all that, but the fact, I think you are a strange combination of being sexual, and I know these two can go together and very often do go together, but feminine. It's almost like a Marilyn Monroe feel about it, of being really gentle and not coming across on the surface as being sexual, but that pull there has got them hooked. And I wonder whether they feel that if you haven't been together, then it was something that could possibly be a huge shift in their life. If you two could get together, whether you're meant to be together or whether there are blocks that we talked about, it's not going to be something where you sleep together and forget each other and then don't speak again. It will be quite intense, I think. Right, I'm going to finish there, pile number 3. I hope that helps you in some way, and that's it really. I really do hope, when I do give these readings, I do hope that it makes you, even if you just pick out 50%, 20%, I never know whether it helps you in some way see things a little clearer, or just see a different perspective to some situation in your life. So anyway, have a good rest of the day, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye.